Okay, good morning, guys. I hope you guys read the pre-market. I posted some information there from the Gamma, and there's something very important to read from there. Now, it's been many months since some of you guys have been following along with me on the Gamma reports and stuff. And if you put the time in to understand, if you put the time in to actually look into it, you will find the use of it, right? If you don't put that time into it, you think, oh, it's whatever, but it requires a lot of hard work. It requires tracking it and it requires understanding it, which is the most important part. All right. So I hope you guys read the VIX part there because it goes over something really important. And that was something that I was pointing out live last week as it was happening, right? And now we see this, it has built up and it's something to keep in mind. It's something to keep in mind. All right. And so here we are on SPX, right? We're near this first major level that we had discussed, during this time. We discussed this zone when SPX was here, right? You guys can go back in the pre-markets from December or Jan, right? When SPX was trading in this range, this is the range that I was discussing as a major support that we must probably will hit, and I was pretty sure of it. So we hit this. Now what? Now the thing is, we made a lot of money between in these moves here, there, and there. We made some, gave some, but overall net. And this entire downturn, overall, I am net up, right? So I'm very happy. All right. Now the thing here is, we had these nice little green days at 3,900, 3,950, and 4,000 were our major resistance levels. We failed at 3,950. All right. Yesterday, I usually don't miss these red candles. I always catch them, but I did end up catching Neo, right? So which was good, right? Up. I did not get my entries on this move down, which is absolutely fine. But now the question is, can we hold these levels, right? Now we know one thing: 3,600 or 3,620. We have the support from who? JPM. Yeah. So 3,600 and 3,620, we know we have the support from JPM, which lasts until tomorrow. All right, Friday, the way clears out. Now, one thing that we also need to understand, on Friday, we can absolutely rally also, right? I'll go over that on Thursday or Friday pre-market. Why? All right, but we can obviously flush much harder because this JPM support will be removed. But let's say something happens. This is just for informational purposes. This is just for learning purposes. Let's say if market, so today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, this is there until tomorrow, Thursday. What if we break through it? What if we break through 3,600 before tomorrow? What happens? By any chance, let's say some crazy thing happens, this huge downside happens today or tomorrow, just for learning purposes. If we break to the 3,600, what happens? The move down will be even more accelerated. It will be a huge flush we'll see all of a sudden because dealers will be forced to sell a lot more, and that position is huge. It's 15%, I think, in size. They will be they have to hedge more and they will have to sell more if it's under 3,600, if 3,600 does not reclaim. And that move down will even be uglier, the ugliest move you'll probably ever witness in your life for another many years, I would say, which takes the VIX above 35. I think, I don't think that's going to happen, but who's seeing tomorrow or today? Right, I always say that for a reason. But for now, 3,600 we hold as a strong support. Let's see what happens. We gave up the gains yesterday. What happens today? We had the GDP today. I think, as we said, the Q1 readings, slightly lower than expected, right? Or negative 1.6 compared to negative 1.5. So they were expecting less, but it came out more on the negative side. So keep that in mind. All right. So here we have this little gap fill here on Spires, SPX, whatever you're looking at. I would just simply say 3,800. 3,800 is a must hold, or we go test 3,750, which is very likely. I think 3,750 is very easy to test if we need to test it. Because usually when we get these big moves, there's usually a follow through. Very rarely it does not follow through. Maybe in this instance right here we held, right? But in most cases there's a follow through because this was weak. Volume was not bad, and now maybe we can go maybe lower towards 3,750. Then we see at 3,750 what happens. All right, and let's see what the levels are saying on the Gamma. So we have, where's our volatility trigger? Is it still at 3910 or is moved? So volatility trigger is now moved towards 4,000. Okay, that's far now. And so these supports, combo 2, large gamma 3, combo 4 are in play for today, I would say. And even combo 4. Under 3,750, we have a lot of support. We have a lot of support by nearby strikes. What exactly are these strikes? In very in layman's term and easy understanding, these are the levels where dealer has to adjust. All right, these are the levels where the dealer has to adjust positions. All right, these are not man-made levels. These levels are algo based. They're based on options and open interest at those certain strikes. All right, So that's how these levels come up. Okay, so these are based by data, not on my own levels. All right, many people have their own levels, which is great. Long-term support resistance, which also work great. But it's up to you what you choose to follow. So that's that. And on VIX, I just quickly want to go over, like I said, if you read it, above 27, rule of thumb, I don't hold calls overnight. Never. Very rare chance, I will, but otherwise, no. So above 27, I don't. And VIX here, one thing that you guys need to understand, if you guys went through the chart pre-market, you will have a better idea. They're holding a lot of call open interest on these strikes. All right, which is not unusual, but sometimes they hold it when they know that there's risk that we might spike here in the coming weeks. All right, so keep that in mind. Stay open-minded, because if this happens, what happens to the market? Market goes down. All right, so there's not many puts. Like at this level, there should be puts on VIX for it to come down, but there's not many puts. All right, so puts, there's not many, but calls, they're loaded up to the upside on VIX. All right, that's something to keep in mind. And for inflation, let's see if it eases. If we ease out on inflation and we move towards recession, I think the market eventually will find a bottom and then just do its little thing until we're out of those holes. So the faster they accept recession, the faster we hit it, the faster they say okay. But right now, if you guys go online, you guys will see many analysts saying, "Oh, we'll hit the recession. We should go in the recession next year. Oh, we should go in the recession in the next 2 years." No, we're in it right now. Right, we're in it right now. People are already facing it. People's savings are already going down from what they had from compared to a few months back. So once those deplete and once people really have trouble paying for their groceries, food, energy prices, gas, you guys see, that's when things go bad, right? So in another 1, 2 months, 3 months, I think those news will start hitting, and then we see what happens. And I don't know if you guys saw, I saw this post on Instagram. I don't know if it's normal or not, but in Vancouver, there's a huge street, many homeless people there, right? Many. I don't know if those people were homeless before or not, but now they are. And NEO, we had this short report from yesterday. I think somebody brought to my attention in the chat. And obviously, this was a very tough resistance. I don't know why NEO is running in this market from 11 to 22. It almost doubled. It makes no sense, right? It's got a lot to prove, I think, and for me it was it looked like a strong resistance, but I saw a lot of flow coming into NEO. They were piling puts on puts on puts on every half an hour. I was watching it, and I'm like, well, you know what, it makes sense. It's a strong resistance. It probably sees lower, and now pre-market is opening up lower. I will probably lock in my profits. We're getting this huge move down. This is a big move down overnight. It's a gift. All right, this move is a gift. We don't have to sit through the grind from here. We got the overnight gap down, and there is a little gap fill here as well, and then we got one right here around 19. So I'm probably going to be selling most of my position right at the open. You can do whatever you want. So NEO paid as well. I think our entry was $1.40 or something, and they should open at 230, 240, or whatever they open at. So I will be taking some of my profits. So let's see this. Lee from the newsletter in My Stock Life, LB posted every Sunday, right? That's where I got this chart from. Right, not a ticker that I usually look at, but I'll give credits to LB for this, and I did take shorts in it. Right, I did not call them out. I just took it from his newsletter, M-Minute, and so this very extended move, right? And it makes no sense for it to be this high. And every time it's squeezed, it has come down, and there are very less chances in this market that it's going to do something like this, right? That's going to go up. So this has some good amount of flows, and this, if it gives up, I think we can probably see around 31, 32. Right, so I think this will be a good profit taking market, and better and better Rosie and Sean, I think you guys were also on LA. So around 31, 32, 33 level is when I want to take my profits on LA if we get there. All right, Google market shit, and Google does not look any promising unless things happen into Friday. I never take calls, never, but I took one small little play for the butterfly in case if Google does close near the range. And that's 1,000% play if that happens. So for me, it was worth the risk, right? It's a tiny position. Let's see what happens. FDX looks great. I think we just got this sell off again from 245. They're rejecting it. And I think in the coming weeks, days, we should see something a retest of 230, 235. The longer it takes, the better it is for me, because the more premium these calls will lose, right? Because we collected premium from above on the bear spread. Remember, so the longer FTX holds under this 250 zone, even if it goes sideways or retest this 240 after a week, a lot of decay will hit, and maybe I'll cover my spreads for some good profits. All right, and with this, guys, I think I'll end it. There's manager size, no need to rush into positions. Today and tomorrow, let's see what happens. We're live on the voice chat, And don't rush, because options are expensive. All right, and with the move down yesterday, I wanted that move down obviously, but not right away. I was looking for the market to just maybe hold, but it's all good though. I think we'll still make a lot of money. And with that, I'll end it, and we'll see you guys back in